Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, Boxer Boxing. Now, man, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury trilogy, man. The fight was a classic, man, and wow. Wow, talk about knockdowns. There's so many knockdowns in this fight. Deontay Wilder was dropped 4 or 5 times, and Tyson Fury was dropped twice. And this was a war, man. Deontay Wilder started good in the beginning of the fight, throwing jabs to the body, straight rights to the body, and ultimately confusing Tyson Fury with what he was going to throw next because he was working the body first, right? And then Tyson Fury started walking Deontay Wilder down, and it made Deontay Wilder uncomfortable. So Deontay Wilder basically started going back to the headshots, and that basically Tyson Fury started getting inside Deontay Wilder's guard, grappling with him, and ultimately wrestling him and hitting him in the sides, in the head, and just wearing him down and leading on Deontay Wilder. And most of this fight was really on the inside, man. It was a Tyson Fury type fight, man. Tyson Fury really used his style in his favor to wear down Deontay Wilder to the point where, it's outside of boxing really to fight in a clinch for so long, for so long of stretch of the fight. Deontay Wilder was getting dropped with inside punches, right? He got the first drop. It was a right hook, and it hit him right in the ear. Bam, hit him, dropped him, right? And there's so many drops in this fight. It's hard to really keep count. But the first time Deontay Wilder was dropped, he survived the round, and then he came back and dropped Tyson Fury with a straight right, and then he dropped him again in the same round, making a 10-7 round. It was just, this fight was, breaking it down round by round is insane. It would be extremely hard to do it, but this is basically a war of attrition. This fight came down to who had the better stamina, and ultimately Tyson Fury fought his fight in the clinch and outworked Deontay Wilder in the inside via giving him the fight to the point where Deontay Wilder is basically gassed out by the time Tyson Fury knocked him out. And that was that, man. He hit him, I believe it was a right hand, and then the fight was called, man. It was 11th round, and it was a good fight from Tyson Fury. I was shocked that he can walk forward for so long and not really get hurt by Deontay Wilder straight right. Even though he did, he got dropped twice. But this is more of the reason why Tyson Fury was able to walk forward on Deontay Wilder so much is because Deontay Wilder was trying to headhunt at one point after he got success with the right hand, and he basically forgot all about Tyson Fury's body, because Tyson Fury is walking in straight lines, and he basically can move and bob and weave to inside Deontay Wilder, making it an inside fight, which I didn't see Tyson Fury making an inside fight. I thought he was going to use more of his height and reach to beat Deontay Wilder. I didn't think he was wrestling him and beat him in the inside, but that's exactly what he did. To get past Deontay Wilder's straight right, I thought that might be rough if Deontay Wilder goes to his body, which he did in the beginning. But ultimately he abandoned his game plan and went back to his old ways, unfortunate for Deontay Wilder. But this is a good win for Tyson Fury, man. Definitely the biggest win of his career. This was, it was a fight where he got up and he showed courage. Both fighters showed courage. And this is one for the books, man. This is definitely the most knockdowns I've ever seen in a heavyweight fight. And there was so many back and forth. It was just highs and lows in this fight for both fighters. And, this is boxing was all about, man. A lot of people talk about trash about both fighters, but ultimately, this is the highest level in the sport of boxing for a heavyweight division. And this is the classic of our era, bar none. You look at the Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk fight, those fights, it wasn't too much of a back and forth as far as knockdowns and excitement. It was a technical fight, but it wasn't definitely an exciting fight, not like this one. This one was a great fight, and it was a trilogy, and this is the best one yet. Really rare in boxing, you have something like that, but Deontay Wilder didn't come to lay down, nor did Tyson Fury, and hats off to Tyson Fury, man. It was a good win for him. Good win. We're going to see what happens with Alexander Usyk and my boy Anthony Joshua with the rematch clause, but WBC is talking about making Dillian White the mandatory for WBC. We're going to see if that really falls through now that Tyson Fury won, or is he going to go straight into a fight with Anthony Joshua, man. We're gonna see. Anyway, man, great fight, man. Let me know you guys feel about it, though. This fight wasn't a long time making. The back and forth was epic. The pandemic shut everything down, so all the eyes were on Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, and they definitely lived up to expectations, man. Almost 2 years going. This fight, it took so long, but it definitely lived up to expectations. And the UK should be proud of Tyson Fury, man. He won. Now, we're going to see where Tyson Fury goes from here. I know for sure he still can't box in the UK because of UCOD, but maybe that might disappear. Who knows? Maybe he might fight in a foreign country, because they were talking about Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fighting in Saudi Arabia. We're going to see how that plays out. But, Tyson Fury has definitely made a name for himself in America, for sure. That was definitely a showing out fight. That was an incredible fight from Tyson Fury. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. Geobox Empire. Peace.